I mean, it's a MAGA hat, whatever, man. The thing that's scary about this presidency is after it.
Trump's a wild guy. He's a wild guy. A lot of countries pitched in. Canada sent planes that helped us out, and Mexico sent firefighters. And Trump was like, make sure they leave when they finish. When he's running for president, he said this at a debate. He said the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, were eating people's dogs and cats. That really upset me because I live in Ohio. In fact, what's up, Ohio?
Dave Chappelle just did something that even Trump's biggest critics couldn't do. He made the orange man lose his mind with a single joke about his marriage. Chappelle didn't scream or yell. He just calmly dropped a truth bomb that had Trump rage posting in all caps within hours. Want to know what Chappelle said that hit Trump's ego so hard, and why Melania's robotic side-eye might actually confirm everything the comedian joked about?
And then Hillary Clinton tried to punch him in the taxes. She said, this man doesn't pay his taxes. He shot right back. That makes me smart. And then he said, if you want me to pay my taxes, then change the tax code. But I know you won't, because your friends and your donors enjoy the same tax breaks that I do. And with that, my friends, a star was born.
Stay tuned as we break down the joke that sent Grumpy Trumpy into a total meltdown. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the videos. So let's talk about the moment Dave Chappelle absolutely destroyed Trump with nothing but the truth.
They did something just because they thought that I might think that they were wrong. And I do. I think if you are fucking streaming that show, you're fencing stolen goods. They stole that from me.
What's up, Dave? How you doing, Dave?
What's up, Dave?
Hey, Dave, you think it's too early to make jokes about Diddy? You know, the bottom line is no matter what happens to you, you gotta keep going.
You gotta keep going.
And bitterness is quite cumbersome.
I'm telling you something that you need to know. I'm trying to explain to you what you're seeing. You don't understand what you're seeing. I am publicly flogging a network.
During his recent stand-up set, Chappelle didn't need to invent anything or exaggerate. He just calmly held up a mirror to what we've all been seeing for years. In his signature laid-back style, he looked out at the audience and said, "You know what's funny about Trump and Melania? That's not a marriage. That's a business contract with a termination clause we're all watching tick down in real time." The audience didn't just laugh, they gasped. That beautiful combination of, "Oh no, he didn't," mixed with, "Finally someone said it." Chappelle went on to break down the evidence that's been right in front of our eyes. Remember those hand-swatting incidents? Chappelle mimicked Melania's lightning-fast reflexes, joking that her hand moves away from his faster than people dodge questions about their crypto investments. What made the routine so brilliant was how Chappelle dissected Melania's body language with the precision of a behavioral scientist. He pointed out that telltale robotic side-eye she gives him at public events. That look that screams, "I'm mentally calculating the exchange rate of my dignity to dollars." Chappelle even noted how her smile never quite reaches her eyes, calling it the smile of someone who's thinking about their offshore accounts while nodding at whatever nonsense is coming out of the orange megaphone next to them.
20,000 Haitian immigrants were moved there by our government legally, and they pay market value for their rents, and they saved a lot of companies because they did jobs that the whites weren't doing. I live one town over from Springfield. Now, those of you who are from Ohio, I hope you know that's not what's happening in Springfield at all. What happened in Springfield is a lot of jobs went away. It's not that the whites couldn't do these jobs, but they were busy, doing other things. Heroin, sleeping on the streets, you know what it is.
The comedian didn't stop there. He pointed out how Melania's rare public appearances seem perfectly timed to fulfill some contractual obligation. She shows up just enough to keep the arrangement looking legitimate, like those fake storefronts that launder money. They open for 2 hours a day and somehow stay in business for years. Trump's whole brand includes being a family values guy with a smoking hot wife who adores him. Chappelle's routine exposed the massive gap between that image and the reality of a third marriage to a woman who seems to actively avoid physical contact. Trump talks about his beautiful marriage, while his wife looks at him the way people look at those charity collectors in the mall. all. If I don't make eye contact, maybe they'll go away.
And those communities are immigrant communities who tend to be very successful. They don't come to America to not be rich. And when he said that community caught hell. There was like a jealousy that ran through the community, and there was nothing I could do about it. A few miles over to Springfield and eat lunch at the Haitian restaurant and let them know, if I'm safe here, you guys are definitely safe here. And to be honest with you, I don't know what that was. It feels like I'm storming the beach of Normandy, World War II. But I gotta keep a happy expression on my face all the time. So imagine all the dangers storming the beach, but I still look like this.
The audience was in stitches, but it was that uncomfortable kind of laughter that happens when comedy hits too close to home. Because Chappelle wasn't inventing anything, he was just narrating what's been happening in plain sight. That too close to home comedy clearly hit Trump like a wrecking ball to his golden toilet. Within hours, his social media transformed into a digital scream room that proved Chappelle's point better than any punchline ever could. While normal celebs might laugh along when they're the butt of a joke, our former prez showed exactly why comedians love targeting him. The man's skin is thinner than the comb over on his head. Trump didn't just fire off one angry tweet. Nope. He unleashed what insiders described as an unhinged, frantic social media tantrum that was practically drenched in defensive desperation. Just imagine a 70-something man hunched over his phone, panic typing with those tiny fingers, smashing the caps lock button like it owed him money. The posts were a jumbled mess of attacks on Chappelle's career, alongside some truly bizarre claims about his own marriage. And let's talk about that Fox News reaction. Suddenly, these folks who spent years ripping apart other politicians' personal lives were clutching their pearls about respecting marriages. It was, as one source put it, peak parody, watching them desperately blame everything from Hunter Biden to gas prices to Taylor Swift. Literally anything except addressing what Chappelle actually said. The network went into full damage control mode, like a hazmat team trying to clean up a toxic spill. Behind the scenes, it was pure chaos. Trump's staff reportedly has a designated Clean Up the Meltdown team who are fully trained to handle his post-comedy emotional crises. Picture these poor aides frantically trying to wrestle the phone away from their boss mid-rant while he's turning redder than his signature tie. And through it all, where was Melania? Completely silent. Her absence from the defense squad spoke volumes, didn't it? What's really telling is how differently Trump reacts to policy criticism versus jokes about his marriage. When someone attacks his border wall or tax plans, he can brush it off. But when Chappelle poked at his relationship, total meltdown. It's like the comedian found the self-destruct button on Trump's ego and pressed it with perfect timing. Meanwhile, internet users were having a field day, creating compilations of Melania's most awkward moments that seemed to confirm everything Chappelle suggested. Each new meme was another nail in the coffin of Trump's perfect marriage image. In the end, what makes Chappelle's joke so powerful isn't just the laughs, it's that he cracked open Trump's carefully built image with a simple truth. When comedians point out the emperor has no clothes, or in this case, no real marriage, it hits way harder than any political takedown. This is why comedy sometimes works better than CNN. Chappelle exposed in minutes what journalists have been dancing around for years. The joke struck a nerve because it dismantled the illusion of Trump's perfect life, which is central to his whole brand. Meanwhile, Trump's still tweeting while Melania's still dodging his hand. Case closed.